Welcome to a very special on-location edition of the Icons Edit because I'm back in my hometown of Birmingham and I'm sitting here with one of my oldest and closest friends. I'll introduce him in a second because we're going to be talking about what I know is going to be my very favourite episode of all time because it's about my very favourite subject of all time. The most iconic TV show, the most loved TV show, it has to be Friends. To talk about Friends, I have one of my oldest, as I said, friends with me. This is Con and he's here to talk about all things Friends, which we've been doing for 20 years now.
Yeah.
About 20 years non-stop without even being recorded. So this is a new one. Let's put it down on tape. And actually, before we start, should we not introduce our real names?
The chick and the duck.
I'm the chick, of course.
I am the duck, though sometimes it's questionable.
It's questionable. So we've been the chick and the duck for almost 20 years now, which is really scary. Con isn't just the duck, though. He works in luxury fashion, styling, fashion expert. So we are going to be talking a lot about the fashion in the show. And I know you guys who follow my podcast love when we talk about fashion. I get a lot of questions about Friends fashion. So we'll try and address some of those today. And we're just going to talk about all things Friends. So chuck in, let's get into the edit.
Sex and the city never sleeps. The magic in the air so deep. We chase the moments, make them last. The future mirrors of us.
All right. Where do we start with a subject so big as Friends?
Where do we begin?
I don't know.
I think let's begin with the intro. I think this is one thing that actually I don't think I've ever asked you because I think when we've been watching Friends, kind of we never had a choice of skipping intro. So I was talking about this with my partner last night and I asked him, what do you do when you're alone watching Friends? Do you skip the intro? Do you watch it?
I feel terrible. I do skip the intro because I sometimes I like to hear the music and it's so iconic and it just makes you, doesn't it give you like a shot of serotonin? You know, that feel good, the buzz of like you hear it and you're like instantly happy. But most often I'm like, no, let's just get straight into the episode. Are you a skipper or are you a watcher?
I'm a skipper.
Really?
Yeah.
Same as me. Yeah, well, me and you are very type A. We just want to get straight into things.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like an ad break for me now. I like, if I can skip it, I will skip it.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's amazing. They're in a fountain dancing in their clothes. It's so fun. It's completely iconic, but I feel like I've watched it a million times, so it's fine. We can skip past it.
Yeah, I think it's where we are now. I remember when I used to watch it, I used to love watching the intro purely because you'd see upcoming scenes. Because if you watch every season, mid-season, they change the credits and they'd use clips from upcoming episodes. So for me, it was an opportunity to be like,
I always love the...
Yeah.
Or the...
Yeah,
like that
exactly. What's it going to be?
Yeah,
moment.
You are right. It is about the kind of and knowing what's coming up in that season. Yeah. So 1994, the show starts. Did you watch it from 1994? Do you remember when you first started watching? We're aging ourselves now. No, of course we didn't. We were too young. We saw it like when we were like in our 20s, which was like last year. Yeah. I've interviewed people recently who've said this about TV shows. Well, I watched it during COVID and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so old. Like I remember watching some episodes in 1994. I was pretty young, but I do remember them being on and kind of catching a little bit of them.
Honestly, I can't remember saying I watched the very first episode of Friends or when I watched it.
I don't think I can possibly remember saying I watched it from the beginning at the moment it was actually aired.
Yeah.
But I definitely watched it in 94. Like I remember seeing it on the TV.
For sure, because I watched every series in succession after that. So I wasn't ever catching up with what was coming. I was always there. So I must have kind of got into it. Absolutely.
And I definitely remember that. I think like season 3 hit for me. It was so huge. I remember going back and really, really intently watching seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not. I think that's why for me, we can talk about this. Why not? Favorite season? Do you have a favorite season? Now this is like asking what your favorite child is, but do you have a favorite season?
I think I do, and I think it's season 3.
That's my season too. It's like one mind.
We hadn't planned this.
No,
but yeah, I think it has to be season 3 because it was at the height of things, but with no expectation, if you know what I mean. It was just great writing, great acting. It was still kind of evolving, and it was just a great series
just got
overall.
Glossy, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like the hair, the makeup, the clothing, the storyline, everything was just another level. I personally unpopular opinion, don't love season 1 particularly. I would try to skip through it as quickly as I can. I just can't. Rachel's hair, I can't watch Rachel's hair. Like, it's like, what is happening right now?
I think that's a whole subject in itself.
Yeah,
when
we can
get
talk
to
about,
Rachel's hair,
we'll talk about image and styling of the characters later
for
on.
sure, because I've got my opinions.
Yeah, season 1 is kind of a breeze past it. Season 2, let's get loads of huge guest stars in, amazing episodes, but still wasn't quite at the point of like, we're huge right now.
Yeah.
Season 3 was...
Absolutely.
I mean, we start off, was it the Princess Leia fantasy? Was that the first episode of season 3? I feel like it was. I think it was around that time.
It's not. Well, it wasn't the one where no one's ready, was it?
That's episode 2. That's episode 2 of
okay.
season 3, which I think is a lot of people's favorite episode. That comes up all the time. It's one of my. It's in my top 5, definitely. The one where no one's ready is just
my
absolutely.
Ultimate.
It's got everything.
It's got everything.
She's going to catch up on her correspondence.
She is. And Monica's going to make several phone calls, and it's not going to end well. And I've kind of gone from favorite series, favorite episode.
You were going to drink the fat?
Yeah, all that. I got the hummus. And,
oh no!
And then that massive like Christmas decoration that came out was just so ridiculous, but it was so Phoebe because that's what she does.
That was when. Don't you think that was when the characters started to be really defined? Because I think in 1 and 2. We'll talk about favourite characters later, but I'm going to touch on it briefly. 1 and 2, Monica and Ross were like, oh, God. And all of a sudden you start to see these amazing characters coming through in season 3. Like they really, they breathe life into them in a way that, it was getting established in the first 2 seasons.
I genuinely believe that the one where no one's ready almost defined each character and who they were. Because when you look back, it was so Phoebe and her quirkiness, Phoebe and her kind of... the self-love that she had when people are telling her, you look great. She's like, all right already.
Yeah.
Like, it's all that kind of... And then you get that side of Phoebe. You get Ross and his kind of... He's very in control and it has to be done on his terms.
It's
and
so quirky.
Everyone out. Come on, why aren't you doing this for me? Monica and her obsession with kind of Richard and having to find... It just defines everyone. You've got Rachel and her outfits, fashion was so big.
Absolutely.
Whereas actually you'd think she'd be prepared, but she wasn't. She was kind of on the night wanting... all that, and then you've got the kind of the brotherly love that was between Joey and Chandler.
Yeah,
that I think is so nice to see. And actually, by the end of the episode, where you think they've been arguing and it's really serious, you see them, they're like, "Okay, chill out, Dad. Like, what is your problem? We've just been having fun here." And it's just iconic.
And it's all set in the apartment. There's nothing. It's just the whole episode is set in that tiny little space.
And here's
which is
a fact.
Incredible.
Did you know that's called a bottle episode?
No, why?
Apparently, low budget episodes like that one are called bottle episodes because it's all in one set and it's less for budget. It's a lot easier for them to manage, and the focus goes on the writing and the acting more so than actually the sets and where they're placed. So, yeah,
interesting. And it's funny because it wasn't till I was talking to you about it that I did actually just say, "Hang on a minute, it's all set in the living room, pretty much." They never move from the living room. The entire thing is set there. And it's not weird. It doesn't feel weird. It feels normal because actually so much of Friends was centered around Monica's apartment. Yeah. But of course we did have those other sets that were like pretty established, mostly Central Perk. That
absolutely.
was the one. But yeah, that episode is iconic. And I think that's why season 3, just for me, will always be the one that I look forward. Even though I've seen every episode, I wouldn't even like to guess how many times I've watched every episode of Friends, but I still look forward to watching that season over and over.
Oh, absolutely.
Season 10 was on last night and I was like, oh, I hate season 10. Only because I know it's finishing. I was like, I can't reconcile these people with the people that I
do. I love Friends. And I always have and I always will. But again, unpopular opinion from my side, I'm always the belief of there should have only been 9 series.
Yeah.
I think as great as it was, and don't get me wrong, season 10 has some great moments within it, but where you look at where we were in season 3 and where we got to in season 10, understandably, as it's always hard to write, I just feel that maybe we kind of kept it going for a little bit too long.
Well, it was 10 seasons, which I think was nicely rounded up. So it went to 2004. It was 236 episodes. And thank God, can you imagine if the best and biggest TV show and most loved TV show of all time was like one of those things that you get on TV now, which is 8 episodes and it's done. It's so disappointing when you love a TV show and it's over so quick.
You look at British sitcoms. There's loads of British sitcoms that I love. And growing up, you never really took note of it, but now you kind of think, oh, it was only like 6 episodes long. It's only like
it's so depressing when you get into something and then you're like, it's gone. I mean, Friends was 24 episodes every single season. Yeah. but the last one was only 18. So that's kind of strange. I don't know whether that was because Courtney Cox was pregnant.
Okay, yeah, so
Possibly,
maybe the
'cause she was
writing of it and
quite pregnant throughout it. But you know, I think that there's not really a bad season, but I think each person will have their season that they're less inclined
absolutely.
to love. 3, 4, 5, 6, I mean, just absolutely legendary. Do you have a favorite episode regardless of season?
Would be the one where no one's ready. I
Really?
could watch it over and over.
I think
And-
it's a good choice.
But actually, believe it or not, I don't like shows, any show, where it's not set in their natural environment. I struggle
Right.
to watch episodes where they're not set. So actually, where they go to Vegas or
So
where they go
when
to
they were at the
London,
beach, when they were at the
yeah, I don't connect with those as much. I like them being in their environment. I don't ask me why. I just feel like there's a comfort to it, and I think it's
that's so interesting. I think that's a great choice for and mine isn't in season 3. You know what mine is, don't you? It's always been my favorite episode. It's the most it's the most incredible ensemble scene moment in the entire of Friends. I wasn't supposed to put beef in the trifle.
It did not taste good.
Joey, if you want to leave, just leave.
I love it.
This is Judy when she stands up and she delivers that scene that delivery to each person. I live for that.
I mean, that is one of my favourite scenes. It has to be.
I can't think of a scene that I love more than that scene. I just can't. And I want to go. It's just so. I love Jack Cousteau. Phoebe, I think Jack Cousteau is dead. It's just so
it's all
good.
of it. It's all of it. It's great.
And again, it's in the apartment. It's another one where it's utter chaos happening in like a tiny little room, and you've got Judy and Jack in the mix just to make it even more. You know, it's just the beef in the trifle for me is hands down. I can't. And beef in the trifle, I think, was season 5. I think it was 5 or 6. It's not season 3, but it feels early on to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it feels one of the earlier seasons.
It's just, it's a classic. The one that I love, again, set in almost in one apartment, is where the one after Monica and Chandler get engaged, and Rachel and everything. Yeah, all that with the hands, you know. And then it's a great episode again, because you get another side of these friends and what they're about and growing up, and you're kind of.
And it's also an argument because they don't have that many arguments either. Yeah. And it's also like totally real that Rachel has always been the princess who's always, you know, overshadowed Monica.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, your previously fat friend. And it's like, yeah, it's real. We relate to this. We understand the storyline and we love it. All that bugs me is that they never go to the plaza. Or the whole way through, I'm like, guys, come on, you just got engaged. You're going to the plaza, right? They never go. You know, they end up putting their pajamas on and everyone just kind of like, what about Pivot?
I'd like it, but I don't love that scene.
You don't love Pivot? Do you know that I Googled this just in preparation for this, and that is the number one scene that everybody says is their favourite scene? Yes.
Did you also know that was true to fact, because one of the cast people, or I don't know who it was, that was working on the show anyway, apparently had a similar story, and that's how it came to be.
So it was literally, they just wrote what had happened to them. I mean, you can't beat Ross in that scene, though.
No, absolutely.
There's no denying that him in that particular moment, and just the lead up to it, which is like, Joey was busy, so I bought Chandler. You bought Chandler? The next best person would have been Monica.
And it's actually, we're all thinking, actually, that's so
It's so true, because Monica would have been like, right, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. She would have lifted up, you know, like, this is Monica, freakishly strong. Pivot, it's funny because the scene is incredible. Me and you, of course, did Pivot at Friends Fest. Yeah. So many years ago, me and Con had maybe the best day of our lives.
Probably 3. I think we did it a few times.
Yeah,
to be fair.
but the first one was like the best day I think we've ever. We both were like, that's the best day we've ever had.
Yeah.
They did something called Friends Fest, which now they've parlayed in New York into a regular exhibit. But it was the first time it had come to London. It was in a park in London, and they transformed it with complete replicas of each set, so you could do the opening credits with the fountain. You couldn't dance in the fountain though, but there was the umbrellas, there was the pivot, there was the taxi, and then there was the hallway.
Yes.
Con, do I still have that as my Facebook? It's been like, how many years has it been? Like 10, 15 years? I think I still have that as my Facebook, my cover photo on Facebook, because it's my favourite photo of all time. Everybody else was getting crazy because they were in Monica's apartment, and me and Con went, get to the hallway. Yeah. And we just no one was in there, and we sat down and we had what I believe is one of my favourite pictures of me has ever been taken, because I'm sitting in the hallway of friends between the two apartments. It was such a great day and we loved it so much. I mean, every part about it was just so good. But yeah, they've kind of done a lot of versions of that. You know, you can go to one in New York now. There's a regular friend, and I've been to it, but nothing quite beats that first one me and you went to and went, this is too good.
Yeah, the excitement to kind of go in there first time to see it. It was kind of...
To be able to recreate those moments. And we got to do pivot, didn't we? So we're like, you know, you're standing on the stairs and you're doing the pivot moment. And it is completely iconic. And you realise how amazing it must have been to be a member of the cast of Friends.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be my life made. If I had been one of them, that's the best experience I could have ever had in my whole life.
But that's part of the love for the show, the fact that you know that actually the cast was so tight-knit. They loved each other so much.
So much.
And you know, whilst they were acting, it was kind of all very true. They did care about each other. They loved each other. And it was...
That's right. They are, I think, to this day, the most aligned together cast who refused to accept any kind of discrepancy of pay. Any decisions about the show were made together, when they were ending it, when they, you know, everything. That's so unusual. When have you ever heard of that?
Never. And they're all really proud of that show. You know, some people are like, don't want to be typecast. They're like, oh, I don't want to talk about, you know, what I did before. I'm moving on now. They're always so kind of, it was a great show. No, of course I'm going to talk about it. Of course.
Yeah, they don't try to do, which I really hate that celebrities do, which is try to disassociate themselves away from the thing that made them. I've seen people from TV shows that I love so much, and a fan has said, oh my God, you are such and such a person. And they've been cut down dead as if like, I've done other stuff. Well, actually, in this instance, no, as great of an actor as you all are, you will never do anything that will be as loved and as great as this show, because it means something to people on a level that is hard to describe. I would say I've lived a lot of my life by Friends. You know, you've known me for 20 years. I say Friends quotes in normal conversation, as do you, all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And you know, I remember when I was 18 and broke up with a boyfriend, I lay in bed totally heartbroken watching the one where Ross and Rachel break up, because it's my touchstone of just, it makes me feel better. And I think there's not been many shows that you could actually turn on at any given time and get that feeling of, I relate, I feel better.
Yeah, absolutely, that's the thing. And I also think it was, especially when you look at sitcoms back then, it was, you know, you had your Cheers, you had your Seinfelds, you had your Frasers, the Golden Girls. There wasn't actually anything for a slightly younger 20-something. It was all slightly older. And I think that's where they were able to connect with the audience.
Yeah.
Even like then, but also now, with the fact that they, you know, it was, okay, these people are actually in New York living their life. They're not in the lap of luxury necessarily. I know you can break it down and, you know, their apartment's probably worth it.
Oh, it's worth like millions of dollars now. That apartment in the Westfield, I live in New York, obviously, and it's like, if you had that apartment, that yesterday I was screaming at the TV, watching it going, you wouldn't have give up the rent-controlled apartment. You just wouldn't have given it up. Ross and Rachel would have moved in there. They would have said, oh, we'll move in there. There's no way anyone would give up a rent-controlled apartment with a terrace, 2 bedrooms in the West Village.
Yeah.
Never happening. Which is actually funny because it's all whack, the locations, because Phoebe is supposed to have lived on Morton Street, which Morton Street is literally a 5-minute walk from the friend's apartment, but yet she was always by the park. Like the location of actually where it was, like it's a continuity error to some degree. They try to make out that Phoebe lives like further away, and then she's not, because Morton Street is literally just around the corner from where the friend's apartment is in New York.
Yeah, because that's why Rachel wanted to cut her out, because she lived furthest away.
Oh, you live far away.
That's another great scene, though. That whole...
Come with us.
Yeah.
We're the best ones.
And Ross turns up and like Phoebe in the back, like, goodbye forever. It was just like one of those. It's just amazing that, because Phoebe in her head, she believes this is going to happen. They're all going to run off together. You then get Joey coming in 10 minutes later.
Like, being like, try to get Joey.
Yeah.
And she's like, like, and then he says, you want to talk to me about something? About
So she's gone off thinking, okay, that was just a passing comment. They come back and it's like, no, it's still going on. Like, she's fully like
that's the
invested.
Thing with Phoebe. Like, if you told her, like, we're going to create a new group, it's going to be Rachel, you and Joey, she would do it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have given it a second thought. She would just do it. And that's what's so brilliant about that character. We'll talk more about each character in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's those moments, like, that's a fantastic scene. Like, the idea that Rachel's like, I'm going to be Kip, because that's the one with the Kips. And
Yeah.
it's like, and even when I was younger, I was like, who the F is Kip?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
was so random. But it's, you know, it's that Rachel is going to be Kip and she's going to be like pushed right out of the group because she and that brings us back onto the Emily thing, which was just ridiculous. How much of a fan did you hate when she said that Rachel couldn't see Ross anymore?
Oh, God, that was just like, yeah.
Every time I see that, even though I know how it ends, I'm still like, you bitch. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, no one liked Emily much anyway.
No
and then
one
as soon
liked
as she did
Emily.
that, it was like,
And she's
yeah,
British, and I feel like we should have liked her more, but I really did not like Emily.
Yeah, since she came on, I actually don't think it's Emily's fault. When you look at it, I think it's Ross. Ross gave Emily too much power, and he was kind of so hungry to find love. It was almost ridiculous.
But
like,
actually, Emily was great because one of my favourite episodes is Red Ross. He's Red Ross!
Red Ross with the
Red Ross
rugby.
is so good. For
Yeah.
years, I was known as like, do you know Mental Geller? Like,
Yeah.
he became like Red Ross, Mental Geller. People used to call me Mental Williamson.
Okay, nice.
Well, you know me, I can be a bit
Well,
mad
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. I think
I'm not like it now, but when I was younger, people were like Mental Williamson. It was like, it's Red Ross.
Yeah.
Emily was great. She was, you know, when she's like, Liam's got a trick knee, and she's like,
she
then
kind
he's
of
like,
helps him along.
But they're on my team, and she's like, I don't care, just get it. It's like, she's actually a really good girl. Like, we actually, you know, as British people as well, we totally identify with her because we understand her, like the way she acts. You know, like when Rachel says, "Oh, I'm sorry, there's been a mistake, I can't go with you," and she's like, "Oh, well, thank you for your time," and just like storms off, and they're like, should I go get her? And she's like, I think you should.
But also the classic Phoebe line of, "Oh, I love how they talk." And she didn't actually say anything, but it's just those kind of, and it's just
So
great Phoebe
good.
moment
But
again.
Phoebe is extremely good. Elisa Kudrow is very good at mimicking. It's incredible. Better than any of the rest of the cast at mimicking. Like, she can mimic anything. And it's so like on the money. She's phenomenal at that.
She is.
But yeah, Emily was actually a good character, but I hate the episodes with her in because I hate the disruption that it causes, you know, and even the wedding, and you like you say, they're in London, and it's like, you're just like, I don't want you to marry her. Like, it feels weird, but that's what you need. You need that. We couldn't just have a whole show of Ross and Rachel being on and off, on and off. It had to be this, because at that moment, did you believe that it was over and that was the end of Ross and Rachel? Done? Did you think that was it?
Yeah, I think I did.
It kind of felt like it, didn't it? Yeah, definitely. Trying to think back, and I'm sure it did.
Yeah, when you were, until the moment where he said her name, it was very much like Ross and Rachel are done.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of did feel like it was they'd moved on, and, you know, like he was like crazy about Emily. So you're like, right, this is over. This is done. Okay, so we're not having Ross and Rachel be a thing. But then, you know, we went into like 6 years of them not being together at all.
Yeah.
So actually we did sort of believe that was done. And there were moments that I definitely were like, I didn't even think about the fact they were together almost because it just moved on. But okay, let's go back to like a couple of favorite episodes before we move on. What about the routine? The routine was season 6, episode 10. This also leads into, let's do this right now. Who's your favorite character?
Oh, I can't. You can't ask me that question.
Really?
Yeah,
I have mine. I love them all pretty equally, but if you pushed me and said, who's your favorite? Well, it would be who I am as a person. Monica.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well,
but
both.
It's Monica and Ross for me because at the start, I hated both Monica and Ross. I thought they were just the worst. And I loved Phoebe and Joey, and I loved Rachel. But as time went on, the development of Monica and Ross as siblings and their weird ass dynamic became just for me intoxicating. I mean, the routine.
Oh, the routine's brilliant.
These are 30-year-old people, and they are literally just, it's like watching two small children doing a routine that if I asked my brother to do a routine from when we were kids, he would literally look at me like I was stupid. Like, he would never.
See, I have those relationships with my brother, so I feel like that's where I can relate.
So you do would you do the routine? Who would catch who?
I don't know about how far I would go with the routine, but definitely in that sibling kind of banter that they have, and the funness and the caring, like it's all there, and the way they are with their parents. Like in their heads, they go back home and they're still kind of 15.
They're still children.
It's a very close family.
They are, but they've also got so much infighting, you know, especially with Monica, a little harmonica. Oh, I love Jack as well. Like Jack is and Judy's not that likable, but she's part of some of the most amazing moments. So for me, I love her.
I think they're brilliant characters. I mean, you didn't see them much, but
When they were in it,
When
they played it so well. I think I didn't like Judy because in seasons 1 and 2, she was just awful to Monica. And everyone can relate to knowing somebody whose mother's like that. And so, yeah, but they were great characters. But with the routine episode, the only thing that I'm like, is Elle Macpherson was in it. How did you feel about Elle Macpherson?
Wasn't the greatest fan. I've
Joey.
got to be honest.
No, I don't know. Like, I didn't get it. I
didn't get it. And
I think it was smart to have the hottest woman ever to be his room. I think they needed someone that hot.
Yeah, for sure.
But
she wasn't as likable as we wanted her to be.
But she's in one of the best scenes ever when her and Monica have the fight.
Yeah, in the hallway again. So
what did I say about the hall?
With a bag, was it a black bag?
With a bin bag, she was taking the trash out, and then she's like, wait! And then she starts running with this little Monica running after her.
But again, it also brings out how loyal Joey was as a friend, because actually he wouldn't go out with someone that wouldn't kind of love his friends the way he loves them. Like, it was so important to him.
They're kind of blah.
Yeah.
He's just blah, and she's just loud. I mean, she is loud. I am loud. It's like, Monica's just so good. I can't. What about, now me and you have recreated this one. Season 7, episode 6, when Ross and Joey take a nap.
Oh, the classic.
Me and Con have actually got a photo. I'm going to put it here. There's a photo of me and Con recreating this moment.
We did. It was great.
Oh, so good. Because when we went to Friends Fest, right, we were like, because we're hardcore fans, we were like, we're going to recreate properly. Everyone else was just sitting there like this, like grinning and stuff.
Yeah, like a fun day out.
Me and Con, we're like, right, lie down. And we're like cuddled up to each other. And everyone's like,
into the zone.
And then we used to hear people go, that's such a good idea. We should. And I'm like, dude, come on. If you're a fan of the show, you don't want to take a nap on Ross's sofa. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that photo of me and you because that episode is genius. Can you imagine two grown men start taking these cuddly naps together and they know it's wrong? It's not wrong, but they know it's kind of weird, but they still want to do it. It's amazing.
It is. It's great. And it's just, the whole thing. And then when they're seen at the end by everyone. And
they were just standing there looking at them like, this is weird. Because it is weird. Yeah. I mean, you would find that weird if two normal friends just like kicking about, just start taking cuddly naps together.
Yeah.
It would be perceived as being slightly strange. Yeah. But, this is one of my actual top 5 episodes, the one with Unagi. There's so many parts of this episode that I die for. Like when I'm watching it, I'm like, everything is so good in this.
So good.
It's just... salmon skin roll.
All of it. It's just...
It's for me that I remember the first time I saw it and I remember hysterically laughing. The very last scene where Ross mistakenly thinks that Phoebe and Rachel are on the street and he's like, payback.
And you see them sitting in Central Perk.
And they're sitting somewhere they would never normally be sitting, but they had to be sitting there in order to make this work. And it's when he's gone to attack... Why is Ross doing that? Why is he attacking those women? And then he runs and he goes, and he stops at the window and he goes,
like realizing what he's done.
Oh my God, everything about that is just, it's top 5 for me. Unagi.
Okay. That I didn't see.
And he goes
all these years.
To the self-defense guy and he goes, so how would I like attack them? What, your wife?
No, yes. Did you not say something about being his ex-wife? So you want to attack your ex-wife?
No, she's my ex-wife. And then his eyes are like really freaky.
Yeah.
That is one of my every part of Unagi for me. It's like when they come in, they're talking. Could you attack? I can't remember who they're saying. Yeah, I could win. And then they walk in the apartment, and then Ross's head is just peeping at the top of and he's really excited, and they're just say we have Unagi. It's not something you are. It's something you are.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about best episodes all day long. What about the quiz? So
my God, one of my.
So this is interesting. Yeah. I looked on the Friends the Instagram page for Friends.
Okay.
And they frequently do battles of which is the favourite episode. The one with the embryos, which is actually the one we all affectionately call the quiz, is actually most often cited as people's favourite episode. The one with because it's the quiz. I mean, what a genius idea. Ross sets up a quiz that's all about the guy, like the 4 of them, and they are fighting for... It starts off pretty innocuous. It's about the chick and the duck. you get rid of the birds.
Yeah.
And then it becomes you switch your apartment. And then and she's just in because it's Monica.
Exactly. Monica's just, she never loses. So why would she not go all in?
Do you remember watching that episode
Oh my God, of
realizing that they were going to lose the apartment?
Yeah.
But then thinking, oh no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that.
No, of course they're not.
How shocking was it when they actually did? Because I would never do that. I'd be like, no, I was joking. Like, it's not happening. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, in the real world, you'd never, I mean, imagine the work it would take to swap everything around, move all that. It would just never happen.
It would never happen.
But it was just such a good episode. And actually, what it did highlight is Ross knew them better than anyone because he had all the answers to all his questions.
Right. Of course, because he had to, because Ross is so anal. And so, I mean, of course. But
it's a great episode.
But the best thing about that episode is Phoebe when she's trying to decide and she's like, we were looking for Leafy.
Yeah, and her cards and everything.
What's the best thing about trees? They're tall. Oh, good. Yes, good. 1 point. It's so quirky because it allows them all to just have that, show those characters again that are just so. It is a fantastic episode, which I love and hate at the same time, because for me, you know how you were talking about you like the familiar environment, I really struggled when the apartments got switched over. I actually found it really traumatic to watch that. I was like, this isn't right. Actually, even though I'm saying this, one of our, between me and you, our most common things that we've ever said to each other about Friends, our favourite scene is in that moment. Say hello to Mrs. Kotrakis. Hello, darling. Hello, Mrs. Kotrakis.
Yeah, I love
this for years. We have been, you don't understand, me and Con have been saying this for years. This is one of our most favourite moments.
Oh, it's great. It's the one where Monica's trying to find what
the
that
wire.
light switch does.
And then in the end.
Yeah, Phoebe. I lost it.
Oh, and I'm doing it. I'm totally doing it. And Joey's like, because he totally believes her.
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Like
actually, yeah, even though I hated it, there's some incredible moments. And Joshua.
Oh, my God.
Joshua's in that. And do you know, this is one of those Easter eggs, not an Easter egg, it's a fact. It's not an Easter egg. They were breaking up during those scenes.
I did not know that.
So in real life, what's his name?
I don't know the actor's name.
Tate Donovan?
Ooh.
The actor who played Joshua
Donovan does ring a bell.
Was with Rachel for... I don't know how long, but they were very famously together. And during the filming, she got him on the show, clearly. He came on the show because they were together. And they were like a golden Hollywood couple. I mean, both blonde and gorgeous, both super famous at the same time. Yeah. They ended up, they were breaking up during filming all of those scenes.
That I didn't know.
And then my boob fell out. It's okay, I got good boobs. I say that all the time in real life.
And so you should. You've got great boobs.
I got good boobs.
But I actually love that dress. I know we're going to come on to fashion, but okay, I know back then, like the whole lingerie and lace.
That.
But actually these days, that would be a dress someone wears out. That is a great outfit.
You are so right. And she looks phenomenal in it. Like she always did. But yeah, when she's telling the story, it's okay, I got good boobs. It's so good. It's so perfect. Yeah. So actually, I think those episodes were
great.
Really, really strong. That was, so wait, the one with the quiz was season 4, so that makes sense. Yeah. Because season 4, we are fully in. Yeah. We're fully in the heyday of Friends. We are in like the peak time. I think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 was like peak. And then I think everything out either side of it is still amazing. But absolutely. Those are the ones where most people's favourite episodes are.
And we saw Matthew Perry's real life dad in that episode.
We did.
As Joshua's dad. It was kind of knowing who that was great to have that kind of, oh my God, that's their dad.
Yeah.
But they were really good at kind of having these kind of characters you might have not known who they were at the time, but actually they were quite big names.
Let's do some Easter eggs.
Okay.
So have you got some? Because I wrote a few down that I wanted.
You're the Easter egg queen when it comes to the facts and the knowledge. You're very good at that.
So the first one, it's not an Easter egg at all, but we have to talk about it. It was supposed to be called Insomnia Cafe.
Yes.
Can you imagine now, me and you all these years later, talking about our favourite TV show and saying it was Insomnia Cafe? It wouldn't have worked.
I don't think the show would have been the success it was. I think the fact it was called Friends.
Too pigeonholed, wouldn't it? Of like, okay, so we're just in a cafe all the time. We can't sleep.
Yeah. But I think Friends, it's instantly, you can connect with it. It's relatable. We've all got friends. Because
I've got you. Yes, no, I feel like I've seen the original script and it was titled Insomnia Cafe. Thank God they decided to like veto that.
The cast didn't like the Rembrandt song for the theme.
Oh, didn't they?
No, apparently not. They weren't keen on it. They didn't think it gelled well.
Oh, I bet they changed their mind. But I bet you they also hate it. Now they hear it and they're like, oh, God, this again.
Yeah.
Can you imagine they probably dream that song in their, like...
They probably never heard it as much as we think they did. In the
No,
same way they don't
that's
know the
so
episodes
true.
the way the fans do.
No, they don't. They probably don't. And they
Yeah.
probably couldn't recite the lines like we can recite the lines, which is crazy. Courtney was supposed to be Rachel. So Courtney Cox was approached. So she was the most famous. If you don't know the history of this, Courtney was probably the most established actor at that moment, and
Yeah.
she was the one that they're like, we got Courtney Cox. So they wanted her to be Rachel because I think they felt like Rachel was going to be, I guess, the main, not a main character, but I felt like they thought maybe she was going to be the one, which actually is not how it turned out at all, which is down to the incredible acting ability of every single member of that cast. Six of the best actors in the world forever. You'll never find six. They're incredible.
Yeah, they were.
Their skill. I'm an actor, and their skill at multicam sitcom comedy, their timing, everything about it. If you don't know how much skill it takes to do what they did, trust me, they are so skilled. So Courtney was supposed to be Rachel and actually specifically asked if she could be Monica. Read the character and felt like she could do more with it.
Because apparently she was her personality isn't too far from Monica's anyway.
Right. I mean, come on, she has to be. They've all got
an element of themselves in the characters.
They absolutely have to.
For sure.
This one is really good. The White Dog. The White Dog was a good luck gift bought for Jennifer Aniston on good luck on starting this new TV show. And she later said, hey, I've got this white dog that I was gifted. And then they used it for the White Dog.
Who gifts someone a massive white dog?
A ceramic white dog from, what was that shop called that Joey went to buy it from?
Something ceramics.
I can't think of it right now.
We'll find it.
How much leverage they got out of the white
brilliant.
dog.
I think she was just trying to off that white dog, though, if I'm honest.
Yeah, like Monica was always trying to off the Barker lounges. The apartment numbers started off as 4 and 5 and later were changed to 19 and 20 to reflect they lived on a high floor because they had the terrace. How could they live on 4 and 5 and have the terrace?
I always knew they switched numbers, but I never knew the reason why.
Willis.
I mean, I think cameos in itself is a whole subject.
So he was filming the whole 9 yards with Matthew Perry, whose career had taken off insane.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis lost a bet with him while they were filming and did that role for free.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Okay.
Isn't that a good one? So he agreed to be a cameo on the show because he lost a bet and he did it for free. He didn't even get paid.
Well, there you go. If you bet on a bet and you lose a bet, you lose a bet.
You lose a bet. He was so good.
He was a brilliant character.
Actually, I'm glad he did. Was it 3 episodes or 2? He was in I think 3.
3 or 4.
He actually lasted because that's also another favourite scene of mine when Ross folds down behind the door and folds into the cupboard.
Brilliant.
The physical comedy from David Schwimmer there is insane.
But here's a little fact: he was the only cast member to not have to audition for his role. He was offered the role.
Really?
Straight off, yeah.
I think both Chandler and Rachel were signed to different pilots at the time, and they were offered the role on Friends and were like, couldn't get off, didn't know whether they could get out the contracts. Can you imagine? Chandler was supposed to be in some sitcom about a baggage claim operator. I mean, thank God you got out of it. I don't know what the one that Jennifer Aniston was on, but they both managed to get out of it and took a big chance and said, okay, we'll get out of these pilots we're supposed to be on and we'll do Friends. Can you imagine if they hadn't? Well, it wouldn't have been the same, would it, without any one of them?
No, absolutely no, it wouldn't at all.
I mean, like, there's no other Phoebe other than Lisa Kudrow.
Oh, my God. Absolutely not. I mean...
I challenge anyone that says that anyone could have played any of those roles other than those people, especially Phoebe. She was so specific.
Yeah, and I think the thing about what I love the most about Phoebe is the fact that I think as time has gone on, yes, back in the 90s, she was seen as a weird, quirky one that, oh my God, who is she? Like, no one can relate to her. And now it's like everyone wants to be a Phoebe.
Yeah,
everyone
because
wants to be unique and stand alone. And
she had no biases at all. She was not. She just believed everybody was be whoever you want to be, however you want to be. There was no kind of racial bias, no gender bias, no sexual bias. She loved animals. She was like peace loving, and she was totally non-judgmental.
And I think
she's a dream of a person, like a character.
Absolutely. And she'd been through trauma, but came out the other side.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that people can relate to these days.
This is interesting, and this is totally going into more of like a social commentary, but in the world we live in now, someone who'd been through Phoebe's backstory, their mom killed themselves and she was on the streets and all this.
Had a pimp spit in her mouth.
Yeah, right. she would not be... She would be on the floor having therapy.
Yeah,
this girl was totally fine. She was more than fine. She just saw it all as matter of fact.
Talking about that, one of the great lines is where she's trying to think of songs to write and she can't think of anything sad. And I think, is it Monica that says, well, why don't you write about, your mum killing herself? And she's like, I could do, or I could write about that time my head did this woohoo thing. And it's just like, okay, you can go with that too. And it's just like, okay.
That's so true, because one of my favourite TV shows also is Schitt's Creek. One thing, did you see that I met Dan recently?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, please.
But one of the things I loved about Schitt's Creek, and I think everybody loved, was that it made the big things small and the small things big, right? So being gay, not a thing.
Yeah.
Something ridiculously small, big problem.
Yeah.
It totally flipped all of the issues that we have socially on its head and said, the big things are not big things. They're nothing.
Yeah.
We're going to be crazy about the things that don't matter. That was Phoebe 20 years earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was Phoebe.
Yeah.
Phoebe could have lived in Schitt's Creek. 100%.
100%. He had her brother's babies for him. I mean, who does that like so willingly and so easily and so...
Yeah.
It just wasn't even a question for her, really. She was just like, of course I'll do it.
Let's do some fashion.
Let's do fashion.
Okay, because we know, I know everyone on this podcast loves a bit of fashion talk. Isn't it weird, right? We know that I'm an expert on Sex and the City, of course. But isn't it weird that Friends never quite had the same fashion? People love it, but it's definitely not parlayed into quite the same fever of like, what's she wearing? What was this? Oh my God. It just never quite went the same way.
But I like it for that.
Yeah.
Because they didn't take over with the fashion.
The character base more than
and there were meant
else.
to be real people living in New York.
Right.
That meant to have real jobs that spent most of the day in the cafe. But beyond that, there were meant to be real people in New York. And they did. And actually, it wasn't until a few years after the show finished that I realised that everything they were wearing was designer. It was. I thought they were kind of buying off-the-rack clothing for them. Great.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've really only started to realise that more so in recent years as well. Everything they were wearing for the most part, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, Tom Ford, Prada. We are talking... but made to look so, and I do think in the early seasons it was more off the rack kind of, Ralph Lauren or kind of like more accessible brands. But of course with budgets comes the ability to, but they were always still really wearable.
Yeah, so it didn't abuse it and kind of become ridiculous. Because again, not such on Sex and the City, but whilst that was about the fashion, towards the end of that, it became so extreme that it
sometimes it was like, absolutely agree with that.
In the beginning, you kind of thought, I could wear that, I could recreate that. By the end of it, it was like, well, I can't recreate the milfoil dress because it's so kind of...
Yeah, Friends is extremely...
wearable.
Can replicate it easily.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's interesting because... So they're using designer, but they're using the most wearable versions of designer. So case in point, another favourite scene. I got stung bad. Monica's wearing Dolce & Gabbana. She's wearing a brown little slip dress that has like a broderie.
Yeah.
You would never peg that as Dolce & Gabbana. I own the dress now. I've recreated the scene. I love that scene anyway. But it's as if Dee Maguire, who was the costume designer, deliberately was like, we have access to this amazing designer stuff, but we don't need it to be the thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be all about this.
Yeah.
That being said, there is some very iconic.
There are. Just to touch on that dress, though, I believe Rachel took that, Jennifer Aniston then took that home and she wears it in her everyday life now.
She does. I'll try and tag a photo of this. There's a picture of her with Courtney wearing the dress, I believe. How cool is that?
Great.
Because all of the stars of Friends also are not big fashion people. Yes, Jennifer Aniston is one of the biggest stars in the world, but she's never really been a big fashion plate. She's done some amazing red carpet looks, but
in a classic
but
kind of way.
I'm dressed as her today.
Yeah.
This is her. It's a 90s jean with a 90s boot. It's a little cute, top and a leather jacket. That's who she is now to this day. and none of them are. Like Lisa Kudrow, Courtney Cox, they're not known for being fashion muses.
You've never seen them on a red carpet being ridiculous or trying to wear something just to shock people. It's always been it's been who they are.
Do you have a favourite dress of the girls? Like outfit, doesn't have to be a dress. Do you have one that you just think, yeah, that's it?
Oof. I need to be careful so I don't step on your toes because I know what's coming.
You can do it, it's fine because I have a bunch.
Is this black strapless dress that Rachel wears on the engagement night again?
Oh.
When they're meant to go to the plaza.
Yes.
And it's a strapless dress. It's just got kind of a thigh-high split.
Super simple.
But it felt, her hair was amazing in those scenes.
Yeah.
And it felt so Jennifer Aniston, but so Rachel at the same time.
She wears a version of that a couple of times, like on the Halloween episode. She rocked a strapless dress. Now we're talking about this, we might also talk about one of the most favourites.
Iconic.
You know it.
Yeah.
Everybody says this is their favourite Rachel look, I think. And it's definitely one of mine. The yellow.
Yeah, satin.
Some people say it's yellow, some people say it's gold. Yellow embroidered strapless dress that Rachel wears in the episode with. There's no socks. It's just, I think part of what is amazing about this, and this is a body thing. Her body was insane at this moment. Yeah. I mean, whether you agree with this or not, she was the thinnest she had ever been at this moment. She was famously on Atkins. Remember, every single girl in the world wanted to be on Atkins to get that body. She looks phenomenal in this dress. Like, there's no doubt. You can't.
She looks great.
And there's something so early 2000s about that dress as well. I remember having a copy of it. I bought it from Oasis in Birmingham, and I remember it's purple, strapless, and it has the embroidery down it, and it is just it's so specific to that era.
Yeah.
And it's so specific to her. And that dress was, interestingly, it's by a brand called Idol, and it was bought in London. I can't stop. So it's literally, they were shopping while they were filming. The costume designer was shopping in some London boutiques looking for new stuff for the show, buys it in London from a tiny little brand that doesn't exist anymore called Idol.
Oh, wow.
I've looked for that dress. I've got a few pieces from Idol, but not that dress. But I will find it one day.
I have no doubt.
Another strapless one that I have not been able to locate the designer of, the Argyle dress. You know I love it.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this dress for so many years. Like he knows exactly what I'm going to say. Monica's bridal shower that they forgot to invite her to. Rachel is wearing a strapless Argyle dress.
It's great.
Oh my God.
I always thought it was Pringle.
It's definitely got a Pringle vibe.
Yeah,
I think it's most likely to be Ralph Lauren, but let's face it, it's not on the runway anywhere. So, and no one's ID'd it, which means it was probably handmade, which happened with Sex and the City a lot too. They probably handmade that dress because we would have found it. It's so distinctive. We would have found it. Another one that I know that you and me both love together is it's involved with Boss. There's a Boss.
Yeah.
What is she wearing?
The leopard coat.
The leopard coat. The full-length leopard coat.
My mom calls it Bloomies. One of the greatest lines.
I say it because I work in Bloomies all the time now. I stream from there, and I say it all the time, and no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
I think it's great. It's the way that coat moves as well, where she's trying to run back up the stairs, and she's like, oh my God, I don't know which way to turn, and it's all this, and it's just, it's an amazing
I have
coat.
that. You've seen me wear that leopard coat. It's full-length leopard. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, one of my favorites. So these are a lot of Rachel, actually, that we're coming up with. But there's one that I need to mention early seasons.
I think maybe I know where you're going with this.
It's the high-low skirt. I mean, that is iconic.
The Rachel. With the overlay.
So the mini with the overlay.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that skirt is Mugler. I can't be sure, but I think it's Mugler.
Was that season 2 episode?
Isn't it the finale when she goes with the Madonna, take a bow in the background, dun, 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 and she's standing waiting with the flowers for Ross.
And then season 2 begins again with
he comes with, and she can poop in the lap.
That's my favourite, one of my favourite lines. I love that line. Joey.
And she's wearing the most insane skirt that I die for that skirt.
And the little crop jacket that she wears with it. I mean, if you were to find that in any store today, people would be like, it would be sold out.
And I've seen people do versions of it, but nothing quite like the way the overlay just flows as she walks. I feel like I need to remake that for my brand because that skirt is to die for.
So good.
Oh,
such a good.
My God.
She had loads of good. I mean, Rachel did. The plaid skirt with the white jumper and the white.
Those were huge. I think that's probably the most significant of Rachel. Is the thing you most associate is the little plaid mini skirts from the early seasons with the long socks and the chunky loafers.
So good. But then I love her in the one with after the Super Bowl where her and Monica are arguing. She's wearing a white crop top with beige joggers, really
So
oversized
simple.
lips. She looks so good in it though, and it's such a classic. Yeah, it's just great.
The Super Bowl one, Phoebe wears a grey metallic-y, like a leathery looking double-breasted blazer or something. And every time I see it, I'm just like, God, I want that. And then Rachel wears a very similar one in those early seasons as well. Very 90s. It's an A to Z of 90s fashion. And, you know, more than any other TV show, you look at that and that is wearable 90s fashion.
Yeah, nothing. And I think that's why you can watch Friends now. Nothing feels dated when you're watching it.
Absolutely not.
You're not thinking, oh my God, fashions back then were crazy. I don't know if it's because of where we are today or just because it was so well styled by them. They kind of knew that. Okay,
and the girls had such great figures, each all very different, but everything looked so good. One of my favourites is the most simple thing ever. You know when Ross and Rachel are kissing for the first time in the apartment and she's wearing this brown velour, which shouldn't work at all, long sleeve V-neck crop top with a high-waisted brown matching pants. I feel like I do a version of that every single day of my life. That's in my head. It's my uniform.
Yeah.
I want to look like that. And she had the Rachel hair, of course. I mean, could there have been a more famous haircut in the history of
I don't think there ever
TV?
has. I don't think there ever will be. I don't think there'll ever be a moment where something takes over in the way it did. And to hear that she didn't even like it is just ridiculous.
And what's weird about that cut is that you remember when everybody went out and got it and it didn't look the same.
No.
So basically, if you don't know about the Rachel cut, seriously, where have you been? It's literally the most famous haircut on TV in the history of forever, and it always will be. She had this incredible choppy layered shag, like a shag, what we would call a shag now. However, everybody went out and immediately got that cut and nobody's looked like it. She had to spend hours every day in Velcro rollers and having it blowed in between scenes to keep that bounce. Well, unless you were going to do that every day of your life, no one has the privilege of being able to, you know, style their hair like that. So Rachel, it wasn't really a wearable look. You could get your hair cut into a layered shag, but it was never going to look that big bounce. You know, she moved it and it was just like everybody dreamed.
Yeah, for sure.
Dreamed of
and
their
it was
hair
kind of
like that.
Before the days of extensions and, you know, people working with their own hair and what they had. So it was kind of like, like you say, you couldn't recreate it because.
Yeah, and it was hard for her because after the shag, after the Rachel cut, it went into a real murky area where it was like she didn't quite know what to do. And then she went really dark brown with the long hair. And, you know, she experimented and there wasn't anything that was ever quite so successful as those early.
And you know, believe it or not, I struggled to watch episodes where she's got a bob.
She did too. Do you know she hated that?
Yeah.
She apparently hated it desperately.
And I can see why. Yeah. I mean, it was a terrible cut. And I think more than the cut was the way they styled her fashion. I just thought...
It was weird, wasn't it? It was like weird how they changed
kind of little
it up.
string chokers and really high V-neck jump. None of it made sense to who she was.
Yeah, that's right.
And I struggled with that.
And remember... Jennifer Aniston has the most incredible sweetheart jawline, right? So she's got something, and it just didn't play to that in any way. Yeah. It should have. I'm sure somebody said, with your jawline, honey, you can get away with this, and was like, but you couldn't. It hid her best feature because this has always been her best feature. That incredible, like a face in a million. One in a million.
Apparently she did it because of all the years of wearing extensions, which I didn't realise.
I mean, I'm a big fan, clearly, of the extension Rachel. Oh, I actually got glue-in extensions done when that season came out because I was so obsessed. When she was with Paul, Bruce Willis, I got glue-ins to look just like her.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. There's an Easter egg I didn't know about your life.
There you go. And I mean, if you've never had glue-in extensions, it's like sleeping on shoelaces. It's the most horrendous thing. But I was just like, I've got Rachel hair. Now we have the benefit of extensions, so we don't have to worry. But I loved her long hair.
But then I know Rachel's kind of known for her hair. But when you look at the show, Monica had more hair changes than she did. The amount of...
Monica's when Phoebe thinks she's Dudley Moore.
Oh, and they're one of my favourite episodes. Again, and that's episode 1, season 2, I believe.
She's the actress.
Yeah.
She's in Disclosure.
Indecent Proposal, Ghost, all that. Oh, she has great hair. I know. Oh, yeah.
That hair was so terrible that I couldn't even look at that for the episodes that hair, Monica's after that cut.
But even later on, when she's working at Alessandro's and she has this really short haircut and kind of spiky, Monica went through the changes.
Oh, she really did. And Monica has... Courtney has hair to die for.
Yeah, she's got
God, that
so
hair.
glossy, so great. And that's, she was never kind of recognised for how great her hair was.
Yeah,
though.
That's true. And I mean, she's also one of the most beautiful women, in the words of Chandler, I've ever seen in real life.
Yeah.
Like, I think Courtney Cox is stunningly beautiful.
Yeah, the eyes and everything.
Beautiful. But actually, this brings me on to my next favourite look, because it's Phoebe, and it's the season when her hair was banging. The gay ice skater.
One of my favourite iconic looks of the show ever.
I think so too.
The gingham pink dress.
The gingham pink dress.
Yeah.
Wearing this phenomenal shift dress that's like a pink with big checks on it.
Oh, it's great.
And like white chunky sandals, I think.
Yeah.
And
it's the hair, the way it was backcombed and styled with the parting of the fringe.
Phoebe's hair in that season. She
Yeah.
looked good. She looked more gorgeous than both the other two girls in that season.
Absolutely, yeah. She had some great looks in that. And even later on, actually, I think in that moment, again, it was so quirky, I think, Phoebe's character, that some people we didn't always get it, or at least I didn't always get her looks.
Yeah.
Looking back now, where you kind of grow up and you become an adult, you think, I love the fact she wasn't afraid to be a bit alternative and a bit different.
Absolutely. I mean, that dress is one of my favourite. My other one I think you'll really appreciate for Phoebe, and I know you love this one too, the Jean-Paul Gaultier off-the-shoulder floral dress. I'm still trying to get it. I keep getting my hands on it, and then it kind of slips out of my hands. So in the one where Ross's neighbours all hate him, and Stanford from Sex and the City is
because you won't pay the... what is it, $25 or something? Or is it $100?
What was his name? He's the handyman. Howard. Was it Howard? Because Stanford's such a bitch in that. Like, he plays like such a bitchy character. And Phoebe goes to the party and goes to Howard's party, and Ross walks in and Phoebe's like, Howard. And she's wearing Jean-Paul Gaultier off that dress.
That's beautiful.
Stunning.
But there is another Jean-Paul Gaultier moment that I love and is one of my favourite looks ever.
Which one is it?
The one where Joey's got his bag. So he's wearing a green shirt.
Is he wearing Jean-Paul?
Yeah. And the only reason I know it's because Jean-Paul Gaultier always has that green, has a tab on the back of all his clothes.
Yeah.
And on that shirt, there's that tab there, and it's a matching tie and shirt combo, and he has the bag. And it's just one of my favourite looks. It's such a good look.
That's when you said to me that you had a Joey look, I just knew it was going to be that look, because Joey looks amazing in that.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Although I do have another ultimate one that if I could wear of Joey's, that I would.
Really?
Yeah. And it probably won't come as much of a surprise for you because you know me. The ombre look.
Yeah.
The ombre, the leather trousers, the satin shirt.
I knew you were going to say it, because I was immediately thinking of the ombre.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Or even the Dijon for Men guy who...
Oh,
R.I.P. him, by the way.
He died?
Yeah. In real life, he died, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Such a doofus. I'm so sorry. Yeah, oh, that is great.
And they had the girl that plays, is her name Ashley? I want to say.
Yes, the one who walks off into the sunset with.
Yeah, she played Callie in CSI Miami, which for years people used to say I looked like her, because I used to have remember back 20 years ago when we were kids, I used to have the long blonde hair, and everyone used to say, you look like that girl from, so whenever I see her in Friends, I'm always like, oh. But yes, his outfit in that is phenomenal. The costume design is so, because let's face it, there's not many of the men's episodes that we really, the men's outfits that we really get to discuss, is there? I mean, it's hard, because Chandler wore sweater vests.
Yeah, and that was iconic to his character. Although, actually, in the beginning...
Why did he love a sweater vest so much?
I think it became a bit of a running joke for him, so I think they had to kind of go with it with the show. But in the beginning, he wore a lot of cool suits and oversized shirts. I do think fashion with Chandler was always going to be tough, because it was dictated by where he was in his personal life.
Well, that is really tough. My one that sticks in my head is the orange shirt, because it's the end of one season, the start of another. He's extremely overweight.
I believe, yeah.
Asks Monica to marry him, and then he's insanely slim in the next episode. So you see it more than you ever did in any of those. And we probably should talk about the fact that obviously Matthew Perry passed away. I found that extremely difficult to deal with. I didn't speak to anyone for 3 days and cried constantly, which however you feel about that, it affected me massively, because I didn't want to live in a world where Chandler didn't exist.
Yeah, it was a massive loss. And again, I think I remember I wasn't just sad for me and I was sad for the cast, for his Jennifer Aniston because I know how much she cared, and I could almost feel that they were like in this horrible deep sadness of what had happened.
I mean, it was so beyond devastating because if you are so allied to the show as we are, like we've lived our life through that lens, we've been really, really good friends for 20 years now, and I think part of the reason we bonded was probably because of this show as well.
100%.
I think and we will always be friends, and it's not with a chick and the duck now. Of course, you can't really get rid of us, but I think that was part of what brought us together. I mean, I bought you a lobster once.
You did. You are my lobster.
I bought him
and I still have the lobster.
I actually bought him a lobster.
Yeah.
And then the Le Jouet, the poster and stuff. Like this is so. When we lost Matthew, I think that there is no way around it. It was devastating.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Friends. This is interesting, for a year afterwards.
Okay.
I couldn't watch it. I couldn't because every time I watched it, I said, he's dead, he's gone, he's not there anymore, and it didn't make sense to me. It took me a year, and then one day I turned it back on again, and I realized the only way I could get past it was to believe that he's still there.
Yeah, you kind of have to. I had the same thing with Catherine O'Hara. I couldn't watch Schitt's Creek for a while.
Absolutely.
Because again, I was just like, I can't watch something.
I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I actually was like, no, done. We're not watching this anymore, which is crazy for me to say because I've watched it every day for the past,
hard to kind of have to live that moment over and over to think, oh my God, that's not.
And now I just watch it and he's alive and nothing happened. And I know that's crazy, but that's the only way that I can continue enjoying it in the same way that I ever did. 100%. Because I need to believe that he's still there and he still exists.
And he was such a big part of the show, not just in his acting, but kind of in the lines that he'd kind of bring and the ad lib and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, you could also say, you could argue that the show is the success it is because of him.
Yeah,
because I think in seasons 1 and 2, it would be fair to say that while we loved all the characters, they were still trying to get into who they were. Phoebe was overly quirky, like to a degree of like a bit silly.
Yeah.
Joey was not quite as dumb, actually. They dumbed him down more. They needed to.
Yeah.
And it was better. We needed Joey to be kind of funny dumb, whereas he wasn't in the early couple of episodes as much.
Yeah, I do think by season 10 it got a bit ridiculous.
It got a bit ridiculous.
I mean, the whole French thing, no. That should not have happened.
Ooh, I was watching that last night.
And it's like, well, I'm sorry, on what planet are we living where someone, like, small things like that, but in 236 episodes, you can forgive a couple of scenes that don't make sense.
I think you're right, because we went from he's not got a clear USP to we've got a clear USP to let's really go crazy with it. So I think you're right, and I think that's why Chandler was the only one from the very first moment was his character.
Yeah,
never changed. He went boom straight in. This is who my character is, and it was what made the show successful. You can argue with that all day long. It's still a fact. Is that if he wasn't in it, it may never have taken off quite the way it did.
100%. Like the Q-tip line that he delivers to Joey, that was all him.
My favorite lines in the whole show are from Chandler.
Well, there we go.
Do you want to know them?
Yeah, I was about to say, go on.
There's
then.
3 of
them. Share them.
This is my favorite one. It's so politically incorrect now, which is why I think I love it even more. And it's like, hey, where's your leg? The delivery of that line, when he died, I literally pulled that up and posted it on my Instagram because, hey, where's your leg? It's too good. And then my very favorite, I think it's the smartest line, is when Joey runs in the room and he stops and he dances like this. And they're like, oh, I guess he got the role. And Chandler goes, yeah, unless Gloria Estefan was right, eventually the rhythm is going to get you. And I'm just like, where would you come out with this in the delivery of it? And my last one was, I'm just going to the bathroom, but if the place with the big fish comes up again, I want to know, is it one big fish or several big fish? It's just so weird and random, but the way he says it kills me every time.
It's all in the delivery. The chicken poops in her lap thing has to be one of my favourite. So I love that whole episode. Again, we've mentioned the whole Demi Moore, Dudley Moore. I think that's a great line.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a million good lines from...
They don't know that we know that they know that we know. All that
is genius. And I use that. My mom texted me last night about something and she went, do they know that we know that we know? And I was like, it's so funny because my mom and my dad have had to watch Friends like through me all these years. They even know the lines. I have all around my house, I have memorabilia. There's a cushion on my sofa that says that exact line.
Oh, there you go.
They're so good. But yeah, back to the Chandler thing. Yes, he was it was just him that kind of cemented it as to what it is.
Yeah.
Let's do a few more outfits. What about this one this is also going to be favorite episode, one of my favorite scenes, favorite dresses. Monica, she thinks Richard's called her. She's wearing a red dress. And I'll tell you a little story about this red dress. I was in love with that dress so much that I had it made in the Birmingham rag market by a designer for my college prom. So there might be a picture of me, I don't remember, but I have that red dress remade. I don't know who designed the dress, unfortunately, but when Monica comes running out of that and she's got the phone.
Yeah.
Is that not one of the most iconic moments ever?
Yeah, she looks incredible.
She looks phenomenal.
And she wore a lot of red.
She did. She wears it so well.
And I don't know if there's a story behind that. I don't know if there's a reason behind it. I don't know if it's just because of her colours. Of the
skin tone. She's so pale, and the eyes, and then that dark, beautiful hair. But
it was a great dress. And that whole episode, when you got...
And when she's sitting there and she's like, I'm going. No! Oh, and then she's like, no! Yeah. And you're like... the acting from her there, that cements her as who Monica is in a second, in that moment, but also just stunning. I know who made it. But then another dress that is something that people know straight away, the green dress.
The mint green dress that she wears, again, goes commando, whole new kind of word. I didn't hear of... did they invent commando? I don't even know at this point. Like, was it their word? That
I don't know, but...
But yeah, it's stuck, and like she looks phenomenal in it.
Especially because she's gone from wearing the New York Knicks sweatshirt, and she's catching up on her correspondence, and then she's you were going to drink the fat,
and it's a drop of the hip when she comes out and kind of just shows it, and it's just so.
And she has the little matching jacket.
Yeah, everything.
She looks. I mean, and as well, and I don't even know who made that. That's the problem with Friends, and I would like to get the costume designer onto the podcast at some point because I need to go right. Tell me who made these dresses, because these are moments that anyone could wear now. If you had an event to go to next week, a little wedding or something, you could wear that. I know Whistles did a reproduction of it a few years ago. I bought the reproduction, but it's one of those moments where you're just like, it's stunning. But Rachel had so many of those fashion moments because what they did was they sort of put her into that fashion character, didn't they? First few seasons she wasn't. She was a waitress. And how good were the waitress outfits?
Oh, so good.
The bodysuits. Oh my God, her
some
bodysuits.
Some of the t-shirts that she wore.
Yeah.
She looked amazing in. Yeah, she's had some iconic.
They really did go down the fashion route with her because they were able to, given that she started working in fashion and all of a sudden.
And she was always she was a rich daddy's girl, so she'd always be in brands. She'd always say there was an opportunity to kind of really play that up. But she wore it all so well.
Yeah.
That was, where she goes for the interview with Gucky, otherwise known as Gucci.
That suit.
The shirt with no collar, kind of high collar. And it was just in that suit. She looks great.
Incredible. I'd be willing to bet that suit was Gucci.
Yeah.
I would say. I'd strong chance that suit was Gucci, don't know. But, and then when she goes for the interview with Zellner and she gets the pen on her lip, she's wearing a grey
pleated.
That skirt lives in my dreams rent free. It's a drop box pleat skirt. I believe the skirt is Prada. Okay. I've never got my hands on it, but I've seen different colours in it, never the dove grey.
Yeah.
And she's wearing it with a simple white shirt. Yeah. And she sits there and it's the way the skirt it's like air.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the things that our dreams are made of, those simple little things that people would wear every single day. I tell you one that I love. When Monica and Chandler go to dinner with Judy and Jack and they're going to ask for Monica's wedding fund.
Yeah.
Monica's wearing a sweetheart neckline, pink.
Yes.
Dobby dress. It's got like Dobby. Yeah. It's like a diamond pattern on it. How insane is that dress?
And then she wears a denim jacket over it when she comes home. Over the top
of it, right. Beautiful.
Although, do you ever notice a continuity error in that scene? So they're saying that it was about how they conceived and how they got married because Judy was pregnant at the time, which would have been with Ross, and that's how they got engaged. They're talking about their engagement. But then later on, when all of Monica's things get ruined from the flood in the house, we hear that Ross is a medical marvel.
Oh, I think I've seen before that there was like a list of continuity errors, and there's quite a lot.
And do you know what? They're fun to find. Like I don't mind a continuity error.
Yeah.
Of course, there's going to be some. And actually, when you spot it, I think it's fun to see that. Oh, they got that bit. mixed up. But it's like,
did they reuse extras? Because in Sex and the City, we do this on my Instagram quite a lot. We spot continuity errors, and one of the things they did a lot on Sex and the City was use the same actor twice. Did they do that on Friends? I'm trying to think if there was ever an instance of that.
Yeah, because Frank Jr. first appeared.
The guy with the condom.
The guy with the condom.
Ah.
So he drops a condom in when Phoebe's busking outside in her guitar case.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not her brother at that point. He's just a random guy going to go and have sex in a car with this random girl.
Right, so he did appear in that.
Yeah.
Frank Jr. was such a good character.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
And he could you pick a better person to be Phoebe's brother? The stilts.
Yeah.
Like they're perfect. Yeah. Like you believe that they're brother and sister. They're both equally completely whack. Like
I mean, he thinks he's a hooker that goes and gives people massages.
Great guest character. If we should talk about guest characters, obviously Janice is the one that most people identify with the show. She was certainly the one that was. Did you like Janice? You a Janice fan?
Do you know what I did? I liked her in the beginning of the Chandler relationship. I thought it was great. Again, towards the end, it got a bit ridiculous because she just spring up everywhere. Rachel's having a baby. She was there. Monica and Chandler are moving to kind of outside of New York. There she is. It's kind of but equally, there was a love for that character. So I understand why they had to bring her in somehow because the public loved it.
Yeah, I think it was important to have those people that came in, like Gunther.
Yeah,
God rest his soul as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who you love the six, but you did also need those characters that were familiar to you that pop back up. Judy and Jack, Gunther, Janice, Frank Jr. These people that
Carol.
came. Yeah, Carol and Susan. Oh God, they annoyed me so much. Why did they always run into a room like like they always were like flappy when they came into a room or through a door?
I really struggled with Susan because I always felt her really harsh to Ross.
She was so harsh to Ross.
You literally came out after he was married. She's now having his baby, but he doesn't get a say. It's just like, hang on, like this guy's.
Susan Bunch was never going to be a popular character. No. But I did like the moments where they bonded.
Yeah, of course.
Where they actually. I'm a lovely person.
Yeah, and the dance at the wedding, the lesbian wedding, they have a dance together. There were some like really soft moments.
Yeah, I didn't love Susan and Carol. Like I could have lived without them, but it was important that they were in. And ditto Ben. I could have lived without Ben. He was obnoxious. Janice is probably the one that we most think about, and she was great. I mean, what a fantastic character she created for that show.
Yeah, it was...
every time she comes into it, you're gonna get bang for your buck.
And again, no one else could have played that role as well as she did. Again, going back to the casting and how they did that, it was great.
No, it had to be her. Yeah. I mean, the oh my God. I mean, I wonder where that came into it because that clearly wouldn't have been written. That was something she brought to that character, and then it became the oh my God, which was so important.
Some of her looks. The leopard stuff that she'd
wear.
Head
to toe.
Yeah, it worked.
I liked it when she was in the supermarket and he's like, "Hi, Janice."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Are you being British?"
And it's Chelsea. And they're in Chelsea. And
she's your classic
Chelsea.
She's your classic Jewish New York woman, Janice. There is, if you live in New York City, I guarantee you know a version of Janice. You know that bigger than life. You know that character.
Yeah, for
and we couldn't have done without her. Like we needed her. She's like when she says to Joey, 2 out of 3. There's nothing bad there's no bad thing about Friends, and it's like we could sit and criticize it, and we probably should. Why don't we touch on some of the criticisms of Friends? Because you and I, let's face it, are never going to criticize this TV show. We live and breathe it, but a lot of people do.
No, and it's like having your own child, isn't it? You know their flaws, you know they might have, but you love them regardless. Right. You're not going to let that stop you. You love them. Yeah, did it have its flaws, or has some of it become dated? Yes, but that comes with the evolution of time. That's the gift of time that you think, okay, I could have done that differently. But overall, it was great. And let's touch on the diversity thing.
Yeah, because a new generation of watchers are now, TikToking their way through dissecting it, based on its lack of diversity, many things,
but
actually.
I challenge lack of diversity because look at the main cast. You've got a Jewish brother and sister.
Yes.
Great. You've got Phoebe that's come from a broken home. Her mum killed herself, lived on the streets.
Yeah.
You've got Chandler that's come again. Separated parents. His dad's gay and now works in Vegas.
Yeah.
You've got Joey with his 7 sisters, who's Italian.
Yeah.
You've got Rachel, who was, the rich...
Your classic kind of,
Yeah, white girl that came in. So there may not have been diversity in colour that we could see, but there was definitely diversity in characters.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, where else did you get a lesbian wedding in the 90s like that? Just kind of
that's exactly right, because you can totally, with one hand, totally criticise that it hasn't aged well, which we can accept. I'll accept that. Yeah. I'll take it. But then with the other hand, you go, but wait, we had some really progressive stuff in this show. Yeah. And one thing like the Schitt's Creek effect as well, what it did was it tried to make everything relatable and easier for people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't try to make things hard. So, you have Carol being a lesbian, and then you have her getting married to a woman, and they had the Phoebe moment of, oh my God, I've seen everything, like to try to explain that is quite shocking to some people, but it wasn't portrayed in that way. It was a comedy way of like, some people might not like this, but who gives a fuck, The race thing is probably the biggest. Would you say that's the biggest criticism that we hear?
That's the one I hear the most. Yeah, I guess so, in terms of
the representation of people of colour, which absolutely is true. The main cast was all white. Main cast of Sex and the City were all white too, Again,
look at the 90s. The Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Frasier.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Seinfeld. It was, I'm not saying it's right, but that's just what it was at the time. And actually.
And so whether you like that or hate that, it became the most loved and most successful TV show. And I would also say that's people from all around the world, all different races and religions and ages, love this TV show. Like, that's not what people think about.
It was the one knowingly trying to leave people out, or kind of.
Yeah, I fully believe that. The writers of the show, I don't think ever did any of this deliberately.
No. And actually, what I don't like in shows and that you see today is token characters.
Yeah,
that you feel like,
I think that's almost going against the point of
absolutely.
Marta Kaufman and David Crane did a phenomenal job writing this show and making it so loved by so many people. And you can't please all of the people all of the time, but I would say Friends pleases most of the people 99% of the time, which is not true of any other TV show that you'll ever find. I don't think so.
I don't think there'll ever be another Friends. I don't think there can be. I don't think, with the world the way it is today and how many new shows come about, how much streaming, how many channels there are, it's something you can't really recreate again.
Shows tried to replicate the formula of Friends. It's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, it was lightning.
It was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
it was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
It was 6 incredible actors, 6 incredible character development scenarios that happened that just created something that you could never in a million years replicate. Yeah. How amazing is that? They were friends. That was the whole point. They were friends. On that note, who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you?
I think in my everyday life, I'd have to say I'm probably Monica.
Yeah.
And kind of the OCD, everything kind of being in its place, being a bit controlling, liking things that are certain. Yeah, that's.
I mean, me too. I've been Monica my entire life. I'm so scrappy.
Yeah.
I'm so loud. I'm very clean, and I'm always right. It's so annoying, but it's also true. Do you think it's true to say that over the years you took on some of the characteristics from loving them so much? Like, I can be a bit weird like Ross sometimes. I'll do weird little movements. And in my head, I'm being a Ross.
Yeah, I think it's within us, isn't it?
Yeah,
like we're always quoting the show. We're always, the way we deliver things. It's there.
Yeah,
it becomes part of your character in a way.
I just think that and we've been friends for a long time. There's just the two of us. I just wish we'd had like 6 friends like that. I was thinking about the episode because I'm wearing the outfit from it, the one with the ball.
Yeah, oh my God.
Can you imagine that you have a group of friends where you start throwing a ball around, and by the end of it, everybody is all night long, they haven't gone to sleep, they have to phone in sick to work because all they're doing is throwing a ball to each other. And in the middle of it, Rachel comes in and she's bought a cat randomly that looks like a hand. And it's like, Rachel, what is your cat doing in my bowl? She's like, oh, I'm defrosting a chicken. Have you ever just wished so desperately that you had that friendship group?
It's just so unrealistic. We've all seen the memes about how, sitcoms lied to us about growing up, and that before work, it would, you'd look like you and your friends would all be sat around this lovely kitchen table having your breakfast, and that's not the reality at all. So
no,
we always want it, but it's kind of
it's a lovely thought, and there is, and we've talked for a while now, and there's so much more that we could talk about. We didn't even talk about Mr. Heckles. Good night, Mr. Heckles. We'll try to keep it
It's a great
down.
episode.
It's an amazing line from Matthew. And when he passed away, I posted that and it really resonated with me. Like, it was just, there's so much more to talk about with Friends. There always is. We could do this all day long and still keep talking about it.
Here's a quick one.
Yeah, give me a last one before we finish up. Tell me.
A question. Ross or Rachel, were they on a break? Who was right? Who was wrong? Because that is the ultimate question in Friends, surely.
From a woman's perspective, no. Like, they were on a break in that they had a little argument, but absolutely he should not have gone and slept with the girl from the copy place. So I'm on Rachel's side with that one, and that was like, but I'm also a woman who totally understands that is what most men do in life in that scenario.
But equally, he did call her and he heard Mark's voice in the background. But that's what
makes this very muddy.
Yeah.
Is that I agree. If you heard Mark's, and also, shut the fuck up, Mark. Like, who does that on the telephone? Like, I'm always like, shut up. And I know we needed it. I know it needed to happen. But I'm like, Mark. Last point that really bugs me on this subject. Why did Ross not recognize Mark all those years later when they were trying to get out of Ralph Lauren? He would not seriously have recognized this person that he was obsessed with. That always like, come on, you cannot.
But I kind of like that a little bit. I like the fact is like, That's Mark.
So I think that what we know for sure is, and you know, if you were hoping to tune in and have us like dissect it and be like critical of it, forget about it. That was never happening with the chick and the duck. This show has made me more happy than anything else I've ever watched on television. It's given me more comfort. It's just given me so much fashion inspiration, life inspiration, character development. And you know, I love those actors that were in that show more than I will ever say that I love any actors in any show, because not only were they amazing characters, they're also bloody great people and amazing actors. And I think that's something that is so unique to that show and so special. And forevermore, it'll be my favorite TV show of all time.
Yeah, I can't see there ever being another Friends or something as good as Friends. It will forever be.
I kind of hope not.
The show.
And I just don't think it would for our generation, and maybe and hopefully for younger generations too, and even older generations like our parents that have had to listen and watch Friends via us for all these years.
But I can't wait for my niece and nephews to grow up and watch it, because I know they'll love it. And yes, there'll be some bits that won't have aged as well, but it's great for them to see.
Yeah.
We're very lucky to have.
We are we'll end on that, because we are so lucky. It made us the friends that we are, which is incredible. And what a legacy, and what a legacy that Matthew Perry left as well. And I think that we could talk about this for days. We can come back and do this again, definitely. I'm sure we can do another full episode or like 20 on Friends. But for right now, I feel like that's a wrap on our Icons Edit Friends episode, because it is the most iconic TV show of all time. Thanks to Khan, my duck, my only duck in the whole world, for joining me. There was no one else that could do this podcast with me. So thanks, my love.
Thanks, Chick. I couldn't
and I'll join you again next time for another Icons Edit. Thanks for watching, guys.